And wiring up blind people to help them find their way. We'll reveal a new prototype device that's showing real promise for guiding blind people around obstacles. According to a recent World Health Organization report, there are over 161 million visually impaired people in the world, 37 million who are blind. While doctors and surgeons do all they can to restore vision in individuals, engineers are focusing their efforts on helping people better navigate their way around.
Many of us take riding a bike for granted, but imagine it was something you could only dream of doing.
I've been blind since I was a child. I was 3 years old.
Anicio Correa wants to ride a bike, a seemingly impossible dream for a blind man. Until now. In his backpack sits a technology that could make his dream come true. It's called SWAN. Stands for System for Wearable Audio Navigation.
We hope that with the SWAN system, or system like it, we can truly expand the horizons and also the activities that a blind person could do. For example, using this kind of a system, a blind person could conceivably ride a bicycle or go skiing.
Today, Anicio is at the Georgia Tech Institute in Atlanta to test out this amazing new system. Like a car navigation system, SWAN is designed to guide people from one place to another.
Okay.
Let's just navigate away.
Okay.
So does it sound like it's speeding up?
The system is telling Anicio which way to walk without saying a word.
Through a series of beeps, he's telling me if I'm facing the right way, the way I want to go, first of all. If I start slightly moving towards the left or the right, and the system will tell me by a different type of beep.
Researchers have found using beeps instead of verbal commands is a lot less distracting.
As a blind person and you're walking down outside the environment, you want to be able to use this system but still be able to hear all the other sounds, the traffic, people walking by, or you may even may want to talk to the person next to you if you're walking with someone.
Now, in order to be able to guide Anicio, the SWAN system needs to know where he is. That means combining several different technologies.
The system has essentially three basic components. The first one is this computer, so it's a small Sony Vaio. It's actually pretty powerful. And then we have a GPS here, and basically this obviously determines where you are. The system has the capability to run multiple GPS devices for better accuracy, but we just have one hooked up to it right now. And then in order to spatialize the sound correctly, you need to know what direction the person's facing relative to where they're going. So that's what this little cube on top of the headphones here does. It's a head tracker. So when I turn my head to the left or right, or in fact up or down, it's getting the roll, the pitch, and the yaw of my head.
Using GPS and pre-existing maps of the area, SWAN is able to locate the user. Once SWAN has a location, it sends sound to the user to help guide them to their destination. Bruce also plans to add cameras to the system.
Integrating cameras into our system allows the user to go in new places, in places that GPS doesn't work, underground, in the subway, indoors, and transition seamlessly from indoors to outdoors.
Here's how it works. The blue dots represent someone like Anicio walking along. He follows the sound toward an imaginary beacon. As he gets closer to the beacon, the sound speeds up. And once he reaches it, there's a musical tone to indicate that he's arrived. Then he must listen for the next direction he is to take. In this way, he's guided left and right through a series of streets. And there are other sounds to help identify objects in Anicio's environment.
As you walk down the street, you might hear a jingling, and that could be an indicator that you're walking past a park bench. If you choose to sit down, that's great. So it's providing the ability for you to explore and learn about your environment without having someone explicitly walk with you and tell you what's around.
And all the sound is delivered through these remarkable bone phones.
Blind people rely on the ambient audio, the sounds that they hear in the environment from the cars, their footfall, their cane tapping. They need to hear those. So no matter how good your audio system is, if it relies on headphones that cover up these other sounds, a blind person is never going to want to use it. So to overcome this challenge, we're working with a new technology called bone conduction audio.
Bone conduction works by placing a vibrating device right on the bone behind the ear.
The net result is the person hears exactly what they would have heard through regular headphones, but we've left the ears completely uncovered.
Of course, when you combine this much new technology into a small device, you're bound to have some glitches.
Has it?
No, I think it just crashed. Actually, that's why you lost
The
it.
system seems to crash a lot, but everyone is still very hopeful, not least of whom Anicio.
Obviously, it's still in the testing phases, and there's a lot more improvements that they are planning. But I am excited about it, and I'm glad to be part of the development.
The SWAN system will never replace Anicio's cane, but it may one day make it a lot easier for him to find his way around the streets of Atlanta. And maybe one day, it might be on a bike.